Kia ora everyone, what's good people? Hope you fellas are doing well, keeping warm. It's actually really, it's been raining like quite heavily all this morning. Even up to now, it's actually it's been quite wet. But yeah, man, look. Anyways, let's cut to the chase. Rainbow Six Siege. Now, now I've just sort of stepped into Siege just recently. I just bought it online, just because was I found a cheap copy, a new copy online, so I thought I just grab it. Now, bruh, this siege. I wasn't too sure what to expect. I had now I've been wanting to play Siege for quite a long, ever since it got revealed. I've been wanting to play it. However, I have heard of a lot of people saying that it's that Siege is best when it is you experience Siege best when you've got players with you. You get a more full experience while playing Siege. So, how now that was the only thing that prevented me from buying Siege day one. Whereas if I had have had a squad with me, then I would have definitely bought this game day one. But the reason why I chose not to was because I didn't have my own friends with me. Most of my friends were more concerned with the next Call of Duty that was coming out, which was Advanced. I'm not too sure if it was Advanced Warfare or Black Ops 3 but it was a Call of Duty game nonetheless, so everyone was more concerned about that, while I was the only one out of my friends to kind of look at the Siege and be like, oh yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing, you know, but no one took any, none of my friends took any interest, so I chose just to sort of drop it, or at least to keep an eye on it, so now a year later or so, um, I've come back because none of my friends seem to be interested in Siege, which is a bit of a bummer. But so I've taken upon myself to buy the game. Um, and bruh, you see, now, now, I did get a shock. Definitely playing this game. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm at level 27 or 28. I'm not too sure. Not quite 30 yet, but I'm like nearly at rank 30. But bro, it's very full on. There's no mini map. These are my thoughts as like a noob player, as a player that is fresh coming into Siege. Um, Bro, it's very punishing. The game is very punishing. It can be very difficult to grasp what's going on. There's no mini map, so I've had to so the player, bleh, I can't talk properly. So the player has to, since there's no mini map, the player has to rely on uh, sounds, or in this case, um, our headphones. And so my rig isn't, it's not the most expensive headset out there, but it's decent. So since there's no mini map, I have had to turn up the volume on my headset very loud so that I can hear the different footsteps, whether they're from above, below, at behind me, or if they're over there breaking through a window or door. It's very strategic. And as a noob, I mean, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm not too sure where I'm supposed to be going, what I'm supposed to do. But I mean, for those of you out there who are still sort of looking at this game, but who have been like me, have got no friends, or your friends are more interested in playing Call of Duty as opposed to playing Siege, um, I say take a dip, man. Have a try, definitely. You know, um, However, if you're the type of person who's been playing Call of Duty and who wants to come into Siege, I'm like, you, you might, I mean, you might find it exhilarating, Siege. But to be quite honest, I don't know. Call of Duty and Siege is not. They might be first-person shooters, but they are definitely not the same first-person shooter multiplayer. It's a one-hit kill. There's no mini maps and there's no aim assist, which I'm like, really surprised. Normally, most of these developers that make multiplayers, they all have aim assist enabled. You know what I'm saying? All that bullshit. So really, it's not the player shooting; it's really the gun that's shooting. The player's just pulling the trigger to fire. But as for aiming, but which is what it is in most of these Call of Duty games. It's very heavy. I didn't realize how generous the AI was. Oh, sorry, the AI. I didn't realize how generous the aim assist was in Call of Duty until I went to Siege. Because I was like, whoa, why is my aim off? Or like I'm not aiming properly. And that's because there's no aim assist on there. And I've been playing Call of Duty so long that I've gotten used to the aim assist, thinking I can aim properly when really it was the gun that was aiming for me. So I do think that was the right decision. I was very surprised that Ubisoft chose not to have aim assist in this game, even on console. So and I'm like, oh yeah, mean. That's cool. So you're like on a five-man team. Normally it's 5 on 5 most of the time, um, and it's a one-hit kill. So if you want, so once you die, you have to wait for the next round to start before you are able to what is it? Start the next one. You know. But yeah, people, man, it's real hard, man. And I think Siege is probably one of those games that are uh, very hard to master, but once you have mastered it, it can be very, very satisfying. You know, as well as again, if you're into Call of Duty, but thinking of Siege, maybe want to play Siege. I don't know if you'll like it. To be quite honest, there's no wall running. You know, you know what I'm saying? There's no jetpacks. There's none of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's just which is what I like. The maps are not open. The maps in Siege are more like just buildings. You know, which is like a different layer. I'm like, out of it. And then most of the walls can be breached, can be broken into, even the roof and the floor. Like you'd think, like the floor would be like you can't destroy it, but you can. You can destroy make a murder hole through the wall, through the roof. You know, you can breach through the roof if you want. It's out of it. The walls. It just opens your mind to be like, okay, because normally in Call of Duty, um, none of the walls can be broken into. You know, you can't throw a grenade and make a hole and make a wall make a hole in the wall, make a wall in the hole. Wow. But you know, it just opens your mind and like you do feel tactical. Especially when you've got a headset. Most people play without no headset, so even that can be that can be sort of stink. That's why I didn't purchase it on day one because I didn't have any friends. Most of my friends are either on Call of Duty. I've even asked them, "Yo, bro, play that Siege, bruh, play that Siege." And they're like, "Nah, nah, come play with us on Call of Duty," and I'm like, "Nah, nah, come play with me on Siege." It's funny, man. We'll be in the chat for ages, just telling each other to come over and come play Siege. Nah, 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 come play Infinite Warfare. I'm like, nah, nah, babe. Nah, that Siege, boy. Come play that Siege. Hey, but none of them do. I'm like, whatever. And then I've got one of my other mates who wasn't interested in it before, but now that I've got a copy, now she's interested. And I told her, I don't know. It's very different from Call of Duty. Very different. But I mean, dude, I'm liking it. I want to keep going. These are just a noob's thoughts on Rainbow Six Siege. I've just bought the game. So I'm just figuring out the operators. I think if you're a newbie, definitely play with the Rook. Um, rook for the defensive. That can be easy to use. You just sort of put down his special ability, which is ammo for your teammates. Just put down ammo and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, no, 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 definitely enjoying that siege. I want to keep playing it too. You know, definitely. But yeah, man, have a try, have a play of it. You know, maybe go to EB Games and buy it so that if you don't like it, you can just trade it in. I mean, you know, um, what is it? Refund? Okay, get a refund. But nah, bro, I'm enjoying the siege, man. It's out of it, you know. And I die most of the time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But but with each match, I do feel like I sort of get better and better. You know where to go, what to do sometimes. But nah, man, definitely enjoying it. That's all I have to say. Yeah, have a try, man. You know, but if you're looking for a Call of Duty experience, this isn't the shooter to go to. This is way more realistic in a sense. You know, not over realistic. But yeah, man. Now these were just my thoughts, sort of going in. I'll probably do another video on what I think. You know, once I've gotten the operators, once I know what I'm doing and stuff like that. But it's a huge learning curve, like a huge learning curve to learn. But it's great, man. I like the challenge. You know, the challenge is way more um, hard, but it's very satisfying when you do succeed. You know, as opposed to Call of Duty. You know, as soon as you die, you respawn straight away. You know, there's no consequence. You know what I'm saying? To your death. You know, whereas in this one, you die, that's it. You have to wait. You know, and then if you die, then that means that's one less teammate. And then it'll be like four versus five. You know, so now you're one man down, and it's like, but it's great though. I like it. It's harsh, but when you succeed, it can be very satisfying. Um, but yeah, now that's me. I've blabbered on long enough. Catch you fellas up on my next video. Peace.